brought Kay McDaniel to Cleveland and Lee, and he will officiate her service on Saturday. Well, right now, we're going to seg into the Logan Thompson Law segment here, as we like to do, following their Monday night board meeting once a month. We talk about the board meeting. We're joined by phone from the Logan Thompson Law Firm and a Cleveland Board of Education member and a Cleveland State Award winner, Community First, Matthew Coleman. Matt, good morning and congratulations.
Hey, how are you doing, Steve? Thank you.
I'm doing good. What does that, before we talk about the board meeting last night, what does that mean to you as Lee McChesney just announced that first here on our station?
You know, when I got that phone call a couple of weeks ago or a month ago or so, and they told me about it, I was really just shocked and humbled. I mean, there's been so many great folks that have come through and used Cleveland State as a starting point for their education and for me, a redirection in my life. And to be able to be put with that class of people, it was just a great honor, a great humbling experience for me. So it was a shock, but I was excited about it.
Matt Coleman joined us by phone, but I know we're here to talk about the Cleveland Board of Education, and I want to begin with you because I know you've got law business this morning. But what do you take from the meeting last night? What do you want the people to know about?
It was a lengthy meeting. It was a late meeting, probably one of our more late ones. But in doing so, I think it was a meeting that we really got into some good content. We really dug into some areas that a lot of our work in the future needs to be done, both with building projects, with the ESL programs, with the academics, the needs, the voucher programs that are coming up before the legislature here, the effects that those vouchers have had on some of our surrounding school systems. I think it went a lot longer than expected, but I think what we got out of that meeting was great. And so for those, I think probably the big thing I would say, for those in our community that want to know what we need to be doing and what we're trying to accomplish in the years to come, and the effects that those things might have, I really think they ought to go back and watch that school board meeting. As long as it was great. And of course, on the positive end, we got to honor these great teachers and administrators for all of the accomplishments they've done. We talked to some ESL students that really just shine such a great light on the great benefits that we're doing to those students and their families.
I will say we've got Matt Coleman on the phone. We also have Nate Tucker. He's the chairman of the board of the Cleveland Board of Education. Brandy King is joining us, of course, the communication head, and Dr. Jeff Elliott, director of schools. Nate, I want to begin with you. Just your impressions of the meeting. Anything you want to add here?
Thanks for having us, Steve. And also thanks to Matt and Logan and Thompson for having us here. As Matt said, it was a lengthy meeting, and so I can't go without saying thanks to the board members for the dedication and hard work they put in to contribute to the success of Cleveland City Schools. And so, as you know, Cleveland is growing, and with that growth comes the need for more schools. And so we've been talking about our strategic plan, and part of that strategic plan is an intermediate school. And the board discussed that last night and reaffirmed that that is our top priority. And so with that in mind, we're going to be collaborating more with the City of Cleveland officials and particularly the City Council, and look forward to coming to an agreement on what our next steps could be together to meet that need.
Dr. Elliott, a comment on that, if you will.
Yeah, we've been really looking at those numbers, crunching those. Each semester we revisit those as we look at our enrollment, and we continue to see a rise. After the pandemic, we were steady, and but the last 2 years we've continued to see that uptick. And by doing that, we're seeing that at our elementary schools, we're reaching capacity or over capacity. Our middle school's been over capacity for several years now. And a way to meet the needs of those concerns as far as growth in those schools is to alleviate that by considering an intermediate school, possibly looking at a 5th, 6th grade school is what it would look like, so that we could relieve the growth and the population enrollment at Cleveland Middle School, but also it would help us out in all our elementary schools. So this is a good way to address the enrollment situation in all 8 of our 9 schools, really, is what we're talking about. So we looked at those numbers last night, and they continue to show that growth that we're seeing and the anticipated growth. Our community continues to grow, and so our enrollment, we anticipate to continue to grow as well.
We do appreciate the Logan Thompson Law Firm turning over their time here once a month. Hey, Matt, any comment on that, buddy, the intermediate school?
No, I spoke on that a little bit last night. I don't. Our community is a great place, and that's the reason it's growing as much as it is. And with growth comes families, and we've got to begin to prepare. I mean, the process of building a home, as I personally am going through that process now, it takes a while. Building a school takes years. The amount of land you need, the amount of planning ahead and budgeting and funding takes years to get that done, and we have to begin that process now. And right now, it seems like the intermediate school is the best way to go. No one has really proposed a better option, so we just need to keep moving in that direction.
All right. What else would we like to talk about here this morning?
We had some fun stuff to talk about too. Not only did we cover those issues, but CMS had a lot going on in December and so many fun things to talk about, the great things happening at Cleveland Middle School. So that was a big part of our presentation last night, especially CMS Wrestling recognized for its recent state title, yay, as well as hosting the inaugural TMS AA Championship competition. So a lot of excitement when it comes to Cleveland Middle School. And then a little bit earlier, we were recognizing some of our employees and faculty members that just go above and beyond every single day. And it's just a joy to be able to witness all of those.
Nate, anything you want to add here? Nate Tucker, board chairman.
No, I think Brandy did a great job. So.
Well, look, and she's a professional. I mean, what do you expect?
Exactly.
Dr. Elliott, anything else from you, buddy?
Yeah, we highlighted our ESL programs last night. That was a spotlight as well. Miss Duncan is our supervisor of ESL. We have 34 teachers now in Cleveland City Schools that are dedicated to teaching ESL students. Wow. It's amazing, and they do a tremendous job. And we have just a number to consider is ESL students. We have 1,115 students of our 5,700 students that we have are ESL students. Wow. So we really wanted to honor them and recognize the tremendous work they're doing. And so Ms. Duncan did a great job. We brought in some students who have completed and graduated from the ELL program in Cleveland City Schools, and we're celebrated that. And just a quick note, we have over 50 students in the class of 2025 that have gone through the ESL program that have exited it successfully and doing great work now. And so we just had a great time celebrating our ESL program.
And I want to personally say thank you to Ms. Duncan. She has been tremendous with our Spanish station, Fiesta 99.1, plugging in guests and people there, and we appreciate it. Matt Coleman, I'll give you the final word here. I know you've got some lawyering to do, so just don't sue me, please.
Well, yeah, and I'm sitting here meeting with my client as we speak, and as I think back, Steve, to when you and I were in school, I think there have been probably 2 wrestling state championships held in the Cleveland City School District. In about 1993, we held the state championship wrestling tournament, and then they held this middle school tournament here, and I know from back then how difficult it is to manage everything that goes into that tournament. And the middle school, I stopped by during that tournament. They did a fantastic job, and just really ran that program wonderfully. Saw Joe Bob Blair down there, who now works for TSSAA, another Cleveland High School alumni. He's now running, I think he runs the whole TSAA program, or is high up in there. It was just great things that they're doing down there. And so, Logan Thompson is just happy to play a small role in all of that and be able to give this time back to them and to this community. Yeah.
Appreciate the Logan Thompson Law Firm, LoganThompsonLaw.com. And, of course, Matt, if you can't help your client, you can send them to me and my skills as a lawyer. So just go right ahead.
I'll do that.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it, buddy. Matt Coleman, right there. We have Dr. Jeff Elliott. Doc, another comment here.
Yeah, I just want to recognize a phenomenal individual who served in Cleveland City Schools for many years for us. And last night we had a special moment at close to the end of our meeting where we are doing some transformation at our Denning Center down at the Family Resource Center on Central Avenue. And there is a component of that we are building out a market to serve our students and their families with needs from food, along with clothing. And last night we had a nomination brought to the board, and it was a unanimous vote to name the market after Miss Barbara Ector, a phenomenal individual who served Cleveland well and had a heart for our kids. And this was an expression of love that I know she committed to on a daily basis, making sure their needs were met. And I think it's just a fitting honor to recognize her by calling it Barbara's Market on Central Avenue. And we're so excited about it.
One of my all-time favorite teachers. There's no doubt about it. Guys, thanks so much. God bless you. Great to see you. We're going to take a quick break.